What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and today I am back with another Avatar: The Last Airbender Commander deck, and it's another Toph deck, because Toph is awesome. So without further ado, let's get into Toph, Greatest Earthbender. So Toph, Greatest Earthbender is from the Scene box, and she has 3/3 for 2 generic, 1 red, 1 green, and when Toph enters, Earthbend X, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast her. So then she also gives your land creatures double strike. So if you have your Toph die, then when she comes back, she's just gonna be stronger. And we're in green, so we're able to ramp. So even if she dies several times, you should be able to recast her pretty easily. Yeah, this is going to be similar to the other Toph decks. Unfortunately, it's really hard to make these style of landfall decks on a budget because landfall is so popular that even things like Kodama's Reach are like a couple dollars as opposed to the 30 cents that they should be. But first we have Nissa, who shakes the world. And by the way, for this deck, I clicked on Moxfield. There is an option here. I'll show you. Option. And let's see here. Update to cheapest, and that is what I did for this deck, and this is the cheapest version of every one of these cards. So we have Nissa, who shakes the world, makes your force tap for double, or sorry, not double, an additional green. You can put some 1/1 counters and animate a land, which is really useful with Earthbending, and you can get an emblem with lands you control are indestructible. Search your library for any number of forest cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. For our creatures, we are running Avatar Kyoshi and most of the other Earthbending cards. So we have, Badger Mole in here. It gives your stuff Trample, Badger Mole Cub, Boomy, another Boomy, Earthbending Student, Earth Kingdom General, Flopsy's in here. Haru is in here. Toph, Earthbending Master, the Earth King, the Boulder, Toph, the Blind Bandit, and then the Toph that I hear is being accused of being AI. Fun times there, friends. And so those are our avatar cards here, and they all do similar things. Like, I've gone over Toph before. She's the experience counter on landfall. Kyoshi Earthbends 8. Badger Mole, like I said, creatures with 1/1 counters on them have trample. Badger Mole Cub is probably one of the strongest cards in the entire set. It Earthbends 1, and whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. Bristly Bill needs no introduction. He's a already classic landfall creature. Boomy Unleashed Earthbends 4 when he enters, and when he deals combat damage to a player, you untap all lands you control, and after this phase there's an additional combat phase. Only land creatures can attack during that, so you animate your lands and bring them in. Then there's Boomy Eclectic Earthbender. He Earthbends 1 when he enters, and when he attacks, put 2 1/1 counters on each land creature you control. Earthbending Student, Earthbend 2 when you enter, and gives your land creatures vigilance. The Earth Kingdom General. Wow, why are these foil? Give me 1 second, friends. I did update to cheapest. There we go. Earth Kingdom General. We got it down to 675. Isn't that nice? Earth Kingdom General. 35-cent card. He earthbends, and whenever you put 1 or more counters on a creature, you can gain that much life once each turn. That goes really well with Avatar Kyoshi. Embodiment of Fury. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may have target land become a 3/3, and land creatures you control have trample. Evolution Sage, proliferate on landfall. Famished Worldsire and Lumra are in here because they are just very, very strong creatures that deal with lands. Flopsy. Flopsy enters, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and each creature you control with power 4 or greater can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Then we have Haru. He Earthbends 1 whenever him or another ally enters. We have quite a few allies. Lotus Cobra, running the Spring Heart Nantuko with Lotus Cobra and Nissa, so that way you can get infinite lands if you so choose. Mina and Den. You can play an additional land. You can return a land you control to its owner's hand. Target creature gains trample. Ouroboros, because he is strong. Azusa, Lost But Seeking. Sakura Tribe Elder. Seaborn Muse. Sylvan Advocate, which as long as you control 6 or more lands, land creatures you control get +2/+2. Chinook, because we're going to be doing some landfall to shoot and draw. Boulder, this card beat the bejesus out of me in my pre-release. But whenever he attacks, Earthbend acts where X is the number of creatures you control with power 4 or greater. The Earth King is when he enters, you create a 4/4 Bosco. And then whenever one or more creatures you control with power 4 or greater attacks, search your library for that many basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped. Toph, like I said, it's the experience counter landfall. This Toph is when Toph enters, you may discard a card. If you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1. If that is a lesson spell, put an additional 1/1 counter on it. And then we have Toph Blind Bandit, which is when it enters, Earthbend 2, and Toph's power is equal to the number of 1/1 counters on lands you control. For our sorceries, we have Blasphemous Act. We do have 2 lessons in our sorceries. We have Cracked Earth Technique, which Earthbends 3. Then Earthbend 3, then you gain 3 life. Then we have Earthbending Lesson, where you Earthbend 4. Cultivate, Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth. Attempt with Discovery, and 3 Visits are all ramp. You could probably throw Open the Way in this deck as well. We have Earth Rumble, which is Earthbend 2, and then you, when you do, up to 1 target creature you control fights the target creature an opponent controls. And then Jessica's Will. Instance, we are running another lesson in Elemental Teachings. We have Crop Rotation, we have Entish Restoration, and we have Harrow. For artifacts, we are running Amulet of Vigor. We do have Crucible of Worlds, Exploration Broodship, Panharmonicon, and the Earthbending Crystal. And then we have our enchantments. We have Aggravated Assault, because we can get ourselves lots of combat triggers. One sorcery I think that we could add into this deck is probably Sozin's Comet to give our stuff firebending. We have Bitter Work, which is whenever you attack a player with 1 or more creatures with power 4 or greater, draw a card, you can exhaust it to Earthbend 4. Branching Evolution, Case of the Locked House, Hothouse, Earthbending Ascension. We have Spelunking, Use Social Engineering, Hardened Scales, Nature's Will, Terra Symbiosis, The Legend of Kyoshi, and Tale of Katara and Toph. Then for lands, we are running Ba Sing Se, which is pretty cool. I like it because you can Earthbend 2 with it. We are running Inkmoth Nexus and Blinkmoth Nexus, as well as Raging Ravine, Rogue's Passage in there, and then we also have Skarg. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains Trample until end of turn, and Kessig Wolf Run. But yeah, let me know what you think of the deck. Oh yes, also Crawling Barrens, which animates a land. I really think that Earthbending will end up being the strongest mechanic from the set. I really like all of the Toph cards. I really like Avatar, and I don't know if this is anecdotal evidence to see how the set is going over as a whole, but like, so I have done tech techs for Final Fantasy, for Edge of Eternities, and for Avatar, and for Spider-Man, and pretty much universally, these ones are doing pretty well, which I think anecdotally tells us that the set is being well received and has high enthusiasm around deck building. But let me know what you think of the Avatar set. Let me know what you think of Toph, greatest Earthbender here. As always, I am Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.